Hello, welcome to You Haven't Blanked That. I'm Forrest.
And this is Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. Well, this week we watched a Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall movie.
Yep.
Called Key Largo.
Key Largo, a 1948 noir crime movie. You know they were married at this time.
I did know they were married at this time. This is the last of their 4 movies together.
Yep. The classic film noir by John Hudson stars Humphrey Bogart as a World War II vet, Frank McCloud, visiting Key Largo to pay his respects to the family of his late war buddy. McCloud attempts to comfort his comrade's widow, Nora, and father, James Temple, who operate a hotel, but McCloud realizes that mobsters, led by the infamous Johnny Rocco, are staying in the hotel. When the criminals take over the establishment, conflict is inevitable. Fucking what a movie, dude!
Right? This is one of my other movies that I watch whenever it's on now.
So
anytime it's on, I'm just like,
I started watching it on my phone like during lunch, and maybe got 10 minutes into it. I'm like, nah, I gotta wait. I gotta wait to watch it like on an actual like screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
I know I've watched, and I brought over Treasure Sierra Madre, and I know everybody's seen fucking Casablanca. Yeah. Are there any Bogart movies, other movies you've seen, or are those just the 3?
I think those are the 3. I've seen a bunch of movies, but like
I went through a good little Bogart phase. I think around the beginning of the pandemic, because there was nothing to do except watch movies.
Well, what's great about like this movie alone, like it's like such a great like cloudy day, like sit on the couch and watch a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I want to eat soup and watch this movie.
Yeah. African Queen.
Everybody's African Queen.
Sabrina. I've not seen his Sabrina.
Yeah, Lisa's like, oh, I like Sabrina, and I'm like, the Humphrey Bogart one? She goes, no, the fucking Han Solo one for
Big Sleep, I've never seen.
Big Sleep, that's another Lauren Bacall one.
Let's see, In a Lonely Place, haven't seen that one.
That is one of my favorite Humphrey Bogart movies.
Really? We should put that on the list.
He is the bad guy in that movie.
Ooh.
He's essentially, he's kind of the bad guy in that movie.
Okay. Have not, I think I've seen that one.
That's the one I was telling you about. Did you watch that one? That's the one I told you to watch the other day.
Yeah. That's probably why I watched it. Yeah.
Did you watch that one too?
I did. Yeah,
okay, so that part where it's like you know how to whistle, don't you?
Oh yeah.
there's a skit on Saturday Night Live. I'll show you after this.
You know, there's actually quite a bit I haven't seen.
Yeah.
The Barefoot Contessa. I've never seen that one. Beat the Devil. The Desperate Hour. Maybe we should do a Bogart.
Like a month of Bogart movies?
Yeah, maybe a year Bogart, and we'll do like one.
I don't know, because I haven't seen all those.
Anyways, but this was actually a play.
I know. I actually bought I bought the book for the play the other day.
So it was a 1938 play about the Spanish-American War.
Yeah, the book it's the Spanish-American War. This one it was World War.
But you know who the gangster is? Because the gangsters both the playwright wrote it as Lucky Luciano as the.
Oh, that he wrote Lucky Luciano.
So that's why
there's a
Johnny Rocco's. That's why he wants to go to Cuba.
Oh,
that's why they talk about prohibition.
Well, there's a couple things in there too.
What do you mean?
We'll have to unpack with Johnny Rocco.
Slapping the women around, slapping Humphrey Bogart.
Okay, so you saw who played? Do you know who that is that played Johnny Rocco?
Robinson.
Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Okay, so Edward G. Robinson is. Okay, one character that we love from a show that we love is directly influenced by Edward G. Robinson.
Who? What?
Chief Wiggum.
No shit.
Yeah. Listen to Chief Wiggum's voice and think of...
You know what's funny too? Because when I saw Johnny Rocco, immediately all these like cartoon images of gangsters and whatever just popped in my head because it's like that's what they based a lot of the They're mobsters, dude.
Well, you've seen him in another movie too. His last movie. I know you've seen his last movie.
Which one?
A little movie called Soylent Green.
Oh, that was his last movie?
He was the friend. Remember the friend that goes to the place with the old friend that he has?
Wow, yeah,
That's
yeah.
Edward G. Robinson.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's rad. But you know how Lucky Luciano got his name, Lucky Luciano?
Yes.
How did he get his name?
No, I'm saying,
Oh, okay.
I was acknowledging.
Well, the thing about Lucky is, like, he was, like, the founder, him and this, one of his best friend, which was, like, a Jewish mobster guy.
Yeah.
Ended up
building
the family.
The Jewish mobster guy. I know what you're talking about. I can't
Lansky? No.
Lansky. Meyer Lansky.
Yeah. So, but Lucky Luciano, when he was like 9 years old, he started like, that's when he started like getting into the whole mob scene and bullying people, because he would have his school buddies give him protection money, and if they didn't pay him his money, he'd beat the shit out of them. But he left high school, or he left school in like 1914, 1915, because he came from Sicily to America. He didn't know English, and he was just kind of sucked at school because he didn't know English. But during this whole like teenage years when he was running around, he got his ass fucking kicked and like grabbed off of like, I think Atlantic City, and they fucking like 4 or 5 guys ended up beating him to shit, stabbing him, and leaving him for dead on the beach. But he was able to like survive that because a couple cops walked by, saw what was going on, took him to the hospital. That's the night where he got the scar on his chin, and like why his left eye drooped so much, because they just cut that nerve. But he got the name Lucky because he survived so many assassination attempts that like they couldn't kill him, so he just became Lucky Luciano. But like when everything was coming down, because he had a whole prostitution racket going on in New York, which he became like New York's #1 most wanted guy.
Yeah.
And like that went nationwide, so he didn't know what to do. So he ended up going to Key Largo and then going to Cuba.
Yeah.
And then there, him and Lansky ended up building that hotel in Cuba, and then had everybody come over. But since Lucky Luciano came from the same town that Frank Sinatra grew up in, they became buddies. And then Lucky Luciano funded Frank Sinatra's career in the beginning to get him going, and then like brought everybody over there. And that's kind of like a weird kind of footstep into like the Vegas mob, and like how like it's just
with Bugsy.
Yeah, with everybody. Yeah. Because Luciano was like the head of the crime family, because he's the one who organized everything. And then plus he had this whole racket with like heroin coming in.
They kind of go into it in Boardwalk Empire. They kind of.
That's another movie I need to watch. Or show I need to watch.
That show's so good. It's just I can't ever watch it in front of it because I got kids.
Because Steve Buscemi's
in it.
Yeah.
The girl who's in Choke and in Trainspotting.
Okay.
She's in it.
Well, maybe I'll watch that like around. Because I have a Christmas break where I'm off for like 2 weeks.
You're off for 2 weeks? The fuck, man. I had like a 3-week vacation, but 2 weeks was because Lisa had COVID.
Nice.
No, like we were so slow at work last year because of COVID that they gave us a week off.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, all right, well, let's hang out with the kids. That'll be fun. And then, so they gave us the week off. And then Lisa got COVID, and I got 2 weeks off from that.
Oh. More time off?
So I had like 3 weeks off.
That's right.
It was amazing, dude. Yeah. You don't even know. It was so good. I haven't had 3 weeks off in like... I
get restless after like 2 days. I need to.
You know what? I watched Scrubs. That was what I did. I watched Scrubs, and I just fucking hung out with the kids, and I played video games, and fucking A, it was great.
Nice.
They so they did an adaptation of this play right before the pandemic at the Geffen.
Really?
And Andy Garcia was Johnny Rocco.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna take my dad to go see it because the way they had it.
What was he doing? The one Fullerton?
No, they did it at the fucking Geffen in L.A.
Oh no shit.
And so what they were gonna do, it was there, but when I saw the schedule for it, it was like, oh, they'll be doing it in January. So I'm like, oh, I can go fucking get tickets for my pops, because my pops and I like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can get tickets for my pops and I to go see it, because like he was really into theater, and as when he was here, he was talking about how he was in the theater.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've never been able to take my pops to a play that I'm like want to fucking sit through.
Yeah,
that we would both sit through, and that would be
rad.
one. Yeah, we would both we love that movie.
Yeah,
and they did it in November instead of January, and I was like, well, fuck, it's too late now.
Yeah,
but Jolie Fisher was gay.
Okay.
The jump to conclusions Matt guy from Office Space.
Yeah.
He was the sheriff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's rad. That's super cool.
Hey, Mr. McCloud, I want you to jump to conclusions. That's the only thing I kept thinking of.
But this movie, because it was 1948, right? So they filmed it in 47. Wow, I'm impressed because like
it's one of my favorite noirs.
The level of just like storytelling, like where they introduce you like, oh, two Indians with fancy shirts, and then like Temple's involvement with the natives and like, you know, the Native Americans, and like and then like it was just kind of like there's a history here of like people. It's not just like a quick stage play.
No, because it comes into play later. Because he's like, you made my family stay outside in the fucking rain.
Yeah, and then the cop ends up shooting the two
Osceola
twins, which turns out to be innocent, and then like, well, they weren't really innocent, but at the same time, it's like you see the grief of like the sheriff when he comes in. It's like, fuck, like I killed two innocent men. You see that he carries it with him too. It's like, dude, and there's just this whole sense of just like, I don't know, like even Johnny Rocco, he's like he doesn't even know what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's just bullying to bully, and that's what he's known to do, and it's made him successful. But he doesn't really know what he wants or what he do. Because even Humphrey Bogart says, like, you know, they're talking. He's like, oh, like, you know, it's just I'm not satisfied. I just want. And then he goes, you want more? He goes, yeah, I want more. That's
like my beef with most people is that they just want to have, and I'm just like, no, like that. Just take what you need.
Yeah, but it's one of those where it's like I get the commentary about like people in position of power and how they just kind of like push people down or whatever. But then like, man, dude, there's a fucking scene in this movie. Let's talk about it right now.
Which one?
Where Gail,
the
fucking drunk floozy bitch, is just like, oh, Johnny, give me another drink. He's like,
nah,
shut up.
Nah, shut up. Why don't you sing for the drink, baby?
Yeah. He's like, no, Johnny. But I like that whole like, I love that washed up performer. You know what I mean? Well, especially washed up women performers. Like, I love that
you love that trope?
Yeah, I just really do. And then especially like,
where you could have had it all, baby, but you decided to drink it all with whiskey.
Yeah.
You decided to take it down the hatch.
But like she stands up and then she's like, she doesn't want to perform, but she wants that drink so bad. She's like, yeah, like, imagine candlelight, you know, just setting the scene. I had this dress with a slit, and like, you know, I was like this, just no makeup, just lipstick, and just this baby spotlight on me. And then she sings, and she's not terrible, but it is a vulnerable scene. Like,
there's a hint of vodka in that.
Yeah, and then, so she's singing, and it's not great, but it's not supposed to be great. And she kind of goes halfway through like a course, and then she stops, and she runs to Johnny. Who's like, Johnny, there, can I have my drink now? I was like, nah,
baby.
But you promised. I don't give a fuck.
I did promise, didn't I? Yeah, but no. He's like, yeah, but no.
Because you were lousy. Oh, like it's just heartbreaking. And then that's when you get the great scene too, where like McCloud, Humphrey Bogart
just goes and pours her
a drink. He's like, here you go.
And then he goes,
thank you, mister or fella.
Thanks, fella.
Yeah.
like they haven't been friends for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like all being hostage, and you're like, thanks, fella.
And then fucking Rocco just fucking walks over and just
slaps him.
Just like not even like a bitch slap, but three of them. He's like, but like it cuts to like Bogart's face, and he's just very stoic, just taking it like, yeah, whatever. But like, I mean, from beginning, like the moment they walk into that hotel, that's where the magic happens. Like that's where everything takes off, because like they try to shoo him the fuck away. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and like I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, okay, and then he meets the dad, and then
that's Lionel Barrymore. Yeah. That's a Barrymore.
And then I like his scene where like Nora spits on like Rocco.
Okay, yeah.
And then the dad's like, "Look at you, Rocco, big old Rocco with Nora's spittle on your chin." Yeah. He's like, "How about you get over here and let me spit on you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's gonna walk over to you, old man. Fuck
and
off.
then he gets up and tries to walk over and punch him.
Yeah.
But I felt this movie. I feel like Hateful Eight took a lot more cues from this movie than people realize.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
mean, with the storm going on outside and people
and people shutting him out, but then like he's like let him in, and then
like I don't think people like realize like how I feel like that was way more influential on Key Largo than anything, or than Key Largo than on Hateful Eight than anything. And I know, and it is so like after watching this movie. I was always like, oh, it's a Western Reservoir Dogs is what Hateful Eight is. And I'm like, no, this is a Western Key Largo.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can see it now because it's similar situations, but like and then especially with like it was weird because I was watching it, I was like, it's kind of like too bright to be a noir. Usually they're like more darky and like kind of like secluded areas, but that's where the hurricane comes in right in play because they shut the power off, and then like you get that whole like. Darkness and then it's even creepy too because like everyone's in the hotel and you get Sullivan who's like called the cops before and then like but then that scene too which is a great scene because like you got Humphrey Bogart coming back from World War II dealing with all the shit that he had to deal with out there and coming into like a real world like he doesn't fit in anywhere, you know what I mean? Like his experience it's kind of life surpasses everyone else's, so it's like your shit's trivial and I don't want nothing to do with it. And then like when Rocco gives him that gun and he's like telling him to shoot and he'll shoot him or whatever, there's like that standoff and like Bogart puts the gun down not wanting to shoot and then like Sullivan grabs the gun and like finds out it's there's nothing in the gun and he fucking dies and falls over the fucking ledge.
Yeah.
But then like the dad's like, oh, like Claude, you knew that gun didn't have any bullets because the weight, right? And he goes, no, I was scared. Like, I was scared. Like, I didn't want to die. Like, and then it was like, yeah, he survived World War II. And he comes to this bullshit situation and, like, he survived that. Why would he want to die on a gangster? Like, of course he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then, but, man, all that tension and then fucking Rocco, fucking baby bitch Rocco, fucking, like, terrified of the hurricane. And he's like, somebody talk. And he was like, oh yeah, Prohibition, it'll be back in 2 years. Like,
yeah, guarantee it.
Guarantee 2 years, you'll see. But it's one of those where like when it wasn't the dad, it was the other dude, right? The other guy was praying, and he was like,
oh yeah, the bigger
keep
guy.
us all safe except for Johnny and Rocco. May you destroy him, Lord. He goes, shut up, take that back. He was so scared. And then like, man, like it was. Shocking too when that tree just jams into that window and just blows it right out. Like
yeah,
but I thought the hurricane was gonna continue going on. I figured that was the eye when it calmed down.
No, that was the end of it. And then
because I was thinking like there's still a half hour left. Like what the fuck is gonna
happen?
Yeah,
well, there's a good 40 minutes left when the hurricane's done.
Yeah, and it's
like hurricane's done at the end of Act 2.
Yeah, and then like you get the Rocco, I guess, is already like set up because he was there to have a meeting with another gangster. That's kind of like
and then the other gangster took his fucking boat.
No, he didn't take the boat. The boat captain got scared and just fucking took off.
Oh, okay.
The hurricane.
That's right.
But like, it's one of those. That's what Lucky Luciano was. He'd go meet with people and then like fucking leave because he was trying to set up his like
empire.
So like it's like so watching it, it's like oh cool. Like you could see. Well, if you know mobsters, like you could see like, oh, this is this character and this is like where he is in his life.
Yeah.
Compared to the story, so it was cool seeing like almost a real world view of what was going on. But it like honestly like this movie was rad. The ending, holy shit! I love it when fucking drunk Gale is like, or Rocco's like, all right, we're out of here. He's like,
take me with you.
Take me, yeah. Fuck off, bitch. Here's $20. That'll last you a month.
that'll last you a week.
Yeah.
You boozer.
You booze out. And then like so she's like begging him to stay, but like during this whole situation, he finds out he has no boat. McLeod Bogart knows how to like drive a boat, so they force him to carry him with them, or take him to Cuba. And then like you have that whole like she's just begging on him, like, please, please. And she fucking pickpockets his fucking revolver and slides it to fucking McCloud, saying, like, okay. And then, like, they tell him, you have till the dock, and then you have this gun, you can shoot your way and run away, and that's your scapegoat. And I was waiting for it, and then, like, it was such a great, like, setup that she thought was going to happen. But Humphrey Bogart goes, like, fuck it, let's go on a trip, bitch. And they fucking just go off into the sea. I'm like, wow, like, what the fuck is going to happen? Because there's still, like, 20 minutes left in that scene.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I knew none of the twists. I didn't know where the story was going at all. I fell in love with it. And then that ending was rad. The fucking boat shootout. But then, like, was this before or after African Queen? It was probably...
I think before...
It was before. African Queen was 51.
50, I was going to say, it was like 51. Yeah. Because Sierra Madre's before.
Yeah.
Sierra Madre's like 43, right? 41, 43? Something like that?
Let me double check. 48.
Sierra Madre's 48, same year?
Yeah. Wow, he was on a fucking roll then making
movies.
Dude,
well, that was like... You know, I mean, but Maltese Falcon is the other one we've fucking seen like a million times.
Oh, yeah, that was 41.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was on a bunch. He did like 4 movies with Lauren Bacall.
Yeah. Dark Passage, that's with her.
Dark Passage, is that the one where he changes his face?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
So it's all first person for a bit?
Yeah.
It's totally weird that
Vincent Perry, that's who he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lonely Place is a good fucking movie. I actually got Lisa to watch Lonely Place, and Lisa liked Lonely Place.
Yeah, this movie though, like, I fucking loved it. It was a really intense movie for what it was. Like I knew it was a noir. I was like watching it, and I was like, okay, cool. But like everything was so bright, and then once it got to the hotel, like that's where everything took off. But that scene, like, I love it when they're like. The very end, where they're like on the boat and they're like going to Cuba, and the fog rolls in, and they're thinking perfect getaway. They'll never see them going on, and then like, I like how like the one guy, the laughing idiot, the gangster, like, you know, he's like, oh, check to see if there's any kale on the rudder. He fucking guns it and he fucking flies right over, and then like he fucking kills that other guy, and then just that scene where like, Johnny Rocco's in the boat and he's like, you want the money? Here's the money. Blah blah blah. Like. It's yours, like, blah, blah, we'll be partners. And then, like, but in the meantime, like, he's just, like, his partners are all dead, and it's just him groveling to just make sure he doesn't die. Like, it was fucking rad. And then, like, the many shots it fucking took him to fucking put that son of a bitch down, like, it was rad. But I thought, like, Bogart was gonna die. Like, I figured that would be a better ending. You know what I mean? I get it's
I haven't read this. I haven't read the stage. You know, the book for it, like the stage play.
But I figured it's a Hollywood movie. They have to give you a happy ending, so like hence why
it's a 1940s Hollywood movie. That's why.
So they like, but overall, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was really, really good.
Like I said, dude, this is like one of my like Jaws movies that I watch like a million times. It's gone like Evil Dead to Jaws and this, and then I was excited in October because HBO Max had all the Evil Dead movies and this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just like, oh, you're fucked. I looked at Lisa, I'm like, you're fucked. Because it's like all the movies I watch like a million times.
Yeah, no, this is phenomenal. Like, what was weird too is like some of the dialogue just is too cliche and it's of its time. But I would not be opposed to watching a remake of this movie.
You know what? I was listening to that Star Wars book, and there would be a good remake of this movie. If they don't, I was listening to that Star Wars book, and they're talking about the kids, why kids and like why they like all those fucking like the Star Wars prequels, and like your fucking Twilight movies and all this.
Oh, because they're stupid.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Okay. Go ahead.
Not stupid as much as inexperienced.
Okay.
Because they're talking about the whole Anakin and Padme love shit, how it's fucking just
a rip-off of Dune.
Fuck off. Anyway, but it's horrible and bad and like it's all that.
Yeah.
But and it's been done. It's cliche. It's been done a million times. But those kids haven't seen that shit before.
True. Well, I figured if they
no, they haven't.
The hype of Star Wars is so big that they were showing them those movies. Like
no, Star Wars, yes, but the type of love story.
Oh, okay.
That's why kids like those fucking Twilight books, because they haven't seen that type of love story. We've seen fucking, how many years of fucking cinema and read how many years of fucking books, how many fucking centuries of books that we read where we know all the cliches. You being a kid and it's marketing to you, you're not gonna know it.
Yeah, because like there's times where like I'll be sitting down and, like I'll watch a movie. Like I had to explain to somebody like how buddy movies work.
Like buddy cop movies?
Like just any buddy movies.
How there's like the fuck up and like the cool one.
How they're instant buddies or they're partners. Then there's a resentment. Then they get along. Then there's a conflict to break them up, and it's sad. But then like when push comes to shove, they come back together again. And it's a great moment. But like it's one of those where it's like, I was like, yeah. So like, and I explained to them what happens in the movie. Like, oh, so it sucks when they break up and like they get back together. And it's really cool, right? And they're like, yeah. Like, how'd you know they break up? I'm like,
what movie were you watching?
I don't like. They were telling me about a story or a movie that they're watching. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah. And then like, how'd you know? I'm like, those are the stepping stones to that story. Yeah, that's the
buddy cop. Yeah. It's you're supposed to be the one to try to figure out. Like that's what I'm doing is as a writer is what you're supposed to do is figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Like I always say this, the reason why I don't think anything's a bad idea is because of 21 Jump Street, the movie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because on paper and speaking out loud, that sounds like a horrible fucking idea. Making a 21 Jump Street movie. Yeah. It sounds like a horrible fucking, and I wouldn't watch it. But then you go and watch the movie and it's fucking funny as shit, and they did it right, and they fucking like they know how to write. So that's why I'm always like when people complain about them because they're too goofy and they like with the Solo movie.
Okay.
They were supposed to do the Solo movie, and then they didn't like. They thought they were doing too much comedy in it.
Oh, okay.
But like I would have liked to see that movie. Like I think they know how to do it. I think they know how to edit their shit to make it work as a Star Wars. But like do something different. That's why those two guys weren't on. That's why they got kicked off the Han Solo movie.
Oh, because of that? Because they didn't think it was the right tone?
Yeah, the tone. They thought it was going to be too much of a comedy, and that's why they had to refilm a bunch of shit. And I'm okay, and I'm not upset about the movie we got. I like the Han Solo movie. I
didn't get halfway through.
You didn't like it?
It was just one of those where it was like I tried to watch it, but it was like so many shit was going on. But I only got to the part where he met Chewie and they were escaping, and then
that's not even halfway through.
Okay, that's right.
So you didn't even get the.
But I wanted to get to the end because I knew
you didn't even get the Lando.
No. He appeared. He appears.
Not before Chewie does.
No, I saw Lando.
Then you got past farther than you think.
Okay, but I didn't see the ending with the train heist that they were.
Train heist is at the beginning.
Oh.
Did you watch the fucking movie?
I think I did. No, I don't know. It was a while ago when I saw it.
Because they botched the heist at the beginning. There's a lot of shit. Like, you should watch it because
watch it.
They set up a lot of cool stuff that should have happened that they still might have happen because it's still kind of on the table for him to come back as Lando.
Chris, no, what's his name?
Donald Glover. Yeah, it's so on the table for him to come back as Lando.
I feel like the steps that they're doing now with Disney Plus and Disney, I'm happy with. Like, it's like...
Did you hear they're going to bring Anakin into the Ahsoka show and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show?
No, I didn't know about that.
He's going to be back in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I think he's going to be in as Darth Vader.
Oh, that'd be rad. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, it's just like, I gave up on, like, prequels and whatever storylines and, like, is this canon, not canon? At this point, just... Give me quality.
It's one Star Wars.
Give me quality. I don't care where the story goes. Because after I practically gave up after the new Star Wars movie. Like, was episode 8 or 9 or?
You told me you liked the Skywalker one. You told me you liked Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, but like. What was
you
the first one?
You didn't like so Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. That's where I was like, all right, maybe I'm just done at this point because I was like, whatever. But during Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One.
I was like, I'm so bitch. This timeline doesn't make sense at all, but I love it.
Just what?
The timeline.
Oh, it does. It's like right.
Because Obi-Wan Kenobi would be like super old, but if they're using the whatever, he'd be.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's not in Rogue One.
No, but the timeline from where it's at. Obi-Wan Kenobi would be, if you put it in the timeline of where it should be. You got old man Kenobi, and then you got Ewan McGregor. There's no way Ewan
But
McGregor's
neither of them are in Rogue One.
No, but if you put it in the timeline of where it's supposed to be in the story, like it doesn't make sense how old Obi-Wan Kenobi's gonna be from A New Hope.
Okay, Rogue One is literally minutes before A New Hope.
Right.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't fucking in Rogue One.
No, but they want to use Obi-Wan Kenobi for future stuff, which they can't because he's too old in A New Hope.
Okay. First off, you're not making sense.
Look, if Humphrey Bogart...
Okay, no, let's pump some brakes. We're going to go back a second. No. Okay. So, you brought up Rogue One.
Rogue One.
That has no mention of an Obi-Wan Kenobi in it at all.
So, hold on. Taking fact, we're watching... So, Rogue One, where does it happen in the Star Wars story?
Literally minutes before Darth Vader goes on. Yes.
Right. So, that's... We're taking... Everything's going from prequels to here to the old...
How much time do you think is in between the prequels and Rogue One?
Probably like 15 years.
It's about 20.
Okay. So you tell me Obi-Wan Kenobi, the last time we see Obi-Wan Kenobi, in 20 years, he's going to look like Old Man Kenobi. Old Ben. Old Whiskey Ben Desert Kenobi.
First off,
I know there's two sons.
Have you?
Like, your
there's
skin
two
dries
sons, and yeah, there's two sons, and your skin dries a lot. Also, he has to watch over Luke Skywalker, and what a rambunctious boy he is.
Whatever.
But we ask a question every week.
Okay, easy peasy.
Go on.
Corey Feldman. Where would he?
He'd be one of the little Indian kids.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, speaking of which, how dope was that old Indian lady?
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. Sick of that. I don't give a fuck. She was right. She was my favorite. The Fell Dog.
I felt like he's one of the... Are you going to say Johnny Rocco?
No. Yeah, I figured he'd be more like a...
He's that guy that gets thrown into the rudder.
Oh, shit. That would be super good.
But he's so...
Fuck, that would be so good.
He's all...
Fuck, that's what in mind.
This Michael Jackson suit's going to go perfect with this year. No, it's not. No one uses glitter.
He tips his head, and he just falls over. No, the sheriff.
You're going to say the sheriff?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Just something about, like, him walking in there with the heavy gun belt. And then just like, hey, what's going on here? And then just like that little strand of string hair going over his left eye. Like, I figured it'd be dope. Plus, he gets to wear a hat.
But it's not the right hat.
Yeah.
No, he would wear a fedora. He wouldn't wear a cowboy hat.
I think if given the chance to be in this movie, you're right. He should be Sullivan, that cop that's there at the hotel. But I think he would push for like one of the gangster roles. Probably the laughing guy. That'd be
that's what I'm saying. You'd be the fucking guy who gets thrown into the rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
no.
Forrest, what have you been blinking?
Oh. I didn't see you stick that in there. Well, you go first.
So I've been blanking the X-Files.
You're rewatching the X-Files?
Yeah.
What, did you get through Seinfeld already?
No, still going through Seinfeld, but like I need something to break up the monotony of like the show. So I started watching X-Files from like episode 1. Still really good. It's just it's weird to see old technology and payphones.
I've told you that thing about The Wire where they're like, well, they got these things called text messages.
Yeah, well, they're not there yet on
No, I know. They're about 15 years out.
Do they have... No, I think in the last movie they had actual cell phones.
I never saw any of them. I never blanked any of the movies. I didn't watch this show that much. I watched episodes here and there. I watched the Chupacabra one. Uh-huh. That's like my favorite X-Files episode is the Chupacabra one.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like cops and he's like the whole time just like...
Oh, actually, that's a really good episode.
That's like a great episode. Yeah. Until I saw the one they did where the guy Was it where he squirts blood out of his eyes? Is that what it was? The one that they did in the last season, like the one that they did like.
I didn't see all the last.
Dude,
current
there
season.
was one because like the funny episodes that they have on that show are fucking great.
Yeah.
Like every 10 episodes was like a funny episode.
Yeah, kind of like the regular show because they got in like after season 3, they would throw in funny ones just to kind of
like break it up. A bit. But no, they were really funny and good. I just haven't seen everything.
Oh, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z Super.
I've never blanked any Dragon Ball.
That's where Goku goes Super Saiyan God mode. And fucking fights Lord Beerus, and he's like, "Fuck you, Catman." He goes, "Fuck you, hungry dude." And then like, Vegeta's like just staring like, "I want to fight too, but fuck you." And then it's pretty intense. It's like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I was listening on the way over here. They remastered the Replacements. Sorry, Ma, forgot to take out the trash.
I saw that. It popped up on my thing.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it sounds really nice. And then actually, I just started this. I'm gonna have to cut this part out, but it's them doing a cover.
Ooh, what cover? Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, they would do shows where they would just play covers and piss everybody off and just not give a fuck.
You know what? I love that.
Like, yeah, like, you know, like people, it would piss. Dude, you should find that book called Trouble Boys. It's about the Replacements, and it's thick. It's about from the beginning to the end, and it's fucking like it's a big. It's pretty thick, and there is no band that is more self-destructive to themselves than the Replacements.
There's I was at work and I brought an old bag that I had, like a messenger bag, and I was like, I left it there and like I was moving stuff around. I'm like, oh, I needed a bag, so I pulled stuff out to put stuff in, and that Darby book was there.
Which one?
The one that I had.
Oh, the Darby Crash one.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's the one where everyone's talking about him.
Yeah, okay.
And then like, so I had it, so I was like, okay, cool. So I threw it on like my credenza at work. Didn't even think twice about it, and I was like, okay, cool. And I came back from lunch. People were like, Jimmy, what book do you have at your desk? I'm like, but then when you look at it, I forget that the cover is very like, because it's Darby without a shirt, but he looks kind of very romancy, sex book type of pose. I'm like, oh, it's just a punk book. He goes, oh, okay, cool. And I picked it up. I was like, yeah, it's blah, blah, and I was thumbing through it, and I just, like, I saw, like, a bright pink thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I opened it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, because there's, like, a picture of, like, some random dude's junk, like, full size on, like, a page, and someone put a post-it on it, because they were thumbing through it, and they're like, it's offensive. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be touching
why
shit.
You, that's my thing, it's like, yeah, sure, you're not wrong, but you know this is offensive? Like, you going through my shit on my desk.
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought it was funny though.
I finished that Crime and Penalties documentary.
Oh, right?
That was insane.
It was pretty fucking trippy.
That guy, like, the whole time he's like, fuck these guys. Like, the commissioner of the hockey league, fuck these guys. And then, like, partway through, he's like, nah, these are my boys.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it brought in all the money, is what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you can be mad as much as you want, but, like, if you're bringing in that much revenue into, like, the league, they're going to change their mind sooner or later.
Yeah. We did the first episode of Squid Game.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's interesting so far.
It gets better.
Okay, so you watched it?
I finished it.
You hadn't, last time we talked, you hadn't finished it, so
okay.
Did you watch it on Sunday after we had the show?
Yeah, we did. And I'm glad I watched it, because such a good ending. Like, it was one of those where it's like, it's good. Yeah, I mean, like, it leaves you sad.
It gives me this fucking Battle Royale vibe off of it a bit.
It gets fucking intense. So the first episode is the red light, green light. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Red light. I like that old man in the beginning where he's just kind of like running and just like, haha, fuck you, bitches.
My dad's been through it twice. He watched it himself, and then he went and watched it again with Francis. He's been through it twice already.
I love it. Do they show the pig when it comes down and it shows the money that you can earn?
I think so.
I love it because it's just the sound of the money coming down. But like, so when they talk about the potential, like how much money it could be, it's like what 46 billion
or whatever.
It is. But when you
but it's like but like when you go to American, it's
Korean,
like
it's 38,000. $38 million is how much the.
Still, oh my god, you're just like, oh, 38 million.
Yeah, but at the same time, like that billion sounds so, whatever. You know what I mean? But like it's fucked. It's good though. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And the growth of the characters too are rad. Ali is my favorite dude. I like that dude a lot. He's
the friend, right? The friend at the beginning who was like helping him go through the bank.
No, that's the other guy. Ali's the guy that grabs.
Oh yeah.
Holds him still, like so he doesn't die. But yeah, it's a trip, and like I like how they just kind of fuck with like the. Oh, it's good. You'll
tell me anything else. Tell me anything else. Yeah. I like the first episode. And at least, and I don't know, like, is it even shocking for people like us? Because I'm always just like, eh.
The gore and stuff. No, not really. Like I was not shocked watching it.
Yeah, and at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to analyze characters. This isn't gonna be shocking to me because I'm just like, oh, they're running and when they walk during red light, they get fucking shot.
Yeah. No, nothing. It's like it's just emotional. Like there's a moment with like a game that they play, and I'm not giving anything away. Tug of war, and it's just that was like the most intense thing I've ever seen, but it was like it was good, like you know, it kept you going, but it's really really good. At work we were talking, one of the controllers, he's like talking about like, you know, every morning we have a huddle, and he'll come up with a random question, and then his question was like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And
do you consider Squid Game a scary movie?
No, so we were just kind of talking like, oh, like, you know, whatever. The Ring and like Exorcist and random stuff, and they came to me and like Evil Dead, and then they're like, "What?" And everybody's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like
nobody, you guys are gonna go off of this, but like, we're not gonna know Evil Dead.
I'm like Evil Dead, you know, Ash, the guy with the chainsaw arm, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I never seen it." I'm like, "Oh, it's rad." And he was like, like,
"Oh yeah, tree rape."
I was like, "But it's don't watch it. Come to me, and I'll give you a quick, because I don't want to say tree rape in front of like the group of everybody." It's like, and I'll tell you.
That's why you go to 2, because 2 implies tree rape. Yeah. It doesn't show tree rape.
And then I had somebody come in. Like 2 days later and be like, Jimmy, I saw that movie. Oh. Actually, this morning, like I saw that movie you talked about. I'm like, oh, you saw Evil Dead? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, how'd you like it? It's like, how could you watch that? I'm like, if that's too intense, 2's better. And then, but Army of Darkness is a great movie. You should ever.
I've been through. I don't usually go to 1 because 1.
I like 1 because it's.
No, 1's fucked up and great, and I love 1. 2 is my favorite, but I don't go back to 1 because usually if a kid walks in during 2, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If a kid walks in during 1, there's some fucked up shit in 1.
Yeah.
And I've actively shown my children Army of Darkness because Army of Darkness should be a PG-13 movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. I like it. It's a little freaky in the beginning, like as I could see as a kid, where like when they all those like things come out of the well and whatever.
Oh, that's the fun part. That's just fun.
But yeah, like I think I
screen things, a little bit of the comic books, a little bit of the extended universe stuff. And it goes up through like season 1 or 2-ish of The Mandalorian.
So it's current.
It's current.
That's
rad. It goes up through season I would say like season 2. And then they talk about the Christmas special. Yeah. They talk about Shadows of the Empire.
Do they talk about how they try to like George Lucas tried to buy all the copies of like?
They don't go into that. No.
Of the Christmas special to like.
Oh, the Christmas special. Yeah. They talk about him like, well, he didn't try to buy all the copies of the Christmas special. There weren't any copies. He there was like 1.
And then I think was it Carrie Fisher, like would play it right at her.
Probably.
At her parties.
I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds like a Carrie Fisher thing.
I fucking love her. She was a fucking whack job.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see that 30 Rock episode with her on it? Where she's like the writer. Have. She's like this writer, like this old, like a Saturday like 1970s writer.
This risque
and it's all this. Yeah, it's all this really bad things, and she's like, no, I can't do. Well, first she's like, I'm gonna quit and go work with her, and then she's like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, that was really good. But yeah, no. Overall, I've been busy with work.
I've been writing, dude. I'm like I said, I'm way into shit.
I started the Batman Long Halloween Part 1. It's okay. It's just
I don't.
Those DC movie cartoons,
they're just going down.
Like the best one I saw was I probably thought
The
Red Hood.
Red Hood was good, and so was the Dark Knight Return. The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
Returns.
part 1 and 2.
Yeah, those ones are. That one was good. Lisa never seen that, so I made her watch that a while back because I bought it with both on one. Yeah, they've gone down. I'm excited for the new Batman cartoon that they're gonna do on. They're gonna do like an old Batman cartoon on HBO Max.
That's right. Have you seen the Batman trailer?
I've only watched one. I have this thing. I only watched one trailer for a movie.
Okay,
I've heard things about it though because they were talking about it on Fat Man Beyond.
Oh, okay, because they came up with the second trailer, like I think a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Cool. Like I'm just.
It's gonna be dark.
Visually, it looks rad. It looks.
You know what? I'm gonna throw it out there. I've never seen a bad Matt Reeves movie. I've never been. You know what I mean?
The cinematography, it's like very scope and like very like. Or random movies. It looks more like a comic book scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see the characters, and then you see Gotham in the background. Like,
did you like that thing I sent you for fucking Cowboy Bebop?
I saw it. I don't know how I feel about it.
Why?
Because it seems kind of...
Did you hear the other thing they're doing for the show?
What are they doing?
Everybody who did a voice on the original is going to dub everybody across the season.
That's fucking
so
rad.
when you watch it in Japanese...
So Valentine will be like the...
It's everybody who did the Japanese voice on the cartoon is dubbing John Cho and all the people. You don't like the way that looked?
I mean,
it looked like anime, dude.
It looked okay. It's just as a teaser, cool.
You didn't like that they did that the whole time?
It was interesting, like how they were like breaking like the panels to move characters around. I'm like, if that's what it's gonna be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be.
But how come? So, but you didn't like that? Did you like that with Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have a lot of like weird comic book cinematic transfer overs from like the Hulk. Remember how like it was like that weird panel?
Yeah,
it was cool, but it was weird.
No, but that wasn't done well. Yeah. Like that was my thing with the Hulk is that you got somebody who maybe liked the character on a few things, but I don't think he was like a big comic guy.
Yeah, but I'm excited to watch it. It's just that was like kind of like okay. I kind of wanted to see a scene, but it's kind of hard to play a scene without. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm interested.
I'm reading a book called Final Girl Support Group.
Oh, okay.
And it's about all these final girls from the movies. So it's supposed to be like they're supposed to be stand-ins for like Heather from Nightmare and Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw and all these, and they're all in a support group because they've had all these traumatic events happen to them.
Okay.
And someone's trying to kill one of the girls from it, and then it's narrated by one of the girls from Friday the 13th.
Oh, because you're doing the audio. Okay.
Yeah, I do audio.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Because I'm like, they're narrating, but it's a book. But then I'm like, yeah. That makes sense.
But they were gonna make it a TV show. So but I don't know. He writes weird story. Like the guy who writes it he's not bad, but he just kind of goes at a weird pace for me.
Yeah. Speaking of similar topics, do you own that Bitchy Girl game?
I think it was a free download at one point.
I'll probably just buy it because I want to play it.
You might be able to get it for free. You know, you have a bunch of PlayStation. Oh no, that's $5.
I keep forgetting to go back in there.
You know what? You can get it for like $10, dude. It's so cheap right now.
Yeah,
you're gonna play the Bitchy Girl game.
I want to play it. I want to play it so bad.
I've always wanted to play games like that where
in a group, right?
In a group, yeah. I wanted to do that where you just have a group of people, and every like 5 minutes you change, and because there's a part in that game where you're doing like a Rorschach test. Okay. And at that point, I was like, "All right, everybody in the room votes as to what we do."
That'd be right. Yeah.
But I did it where where you think you killed Rami Malek because Rami Malek's in the game, and so is Hayden Panettiere.
It just seems like a fun game.
I enjoyed it, like Bitchy Girl game 100% because like. One girl is dating another girl's ex, and they, of course, yeah. But it's like Bitchy Girl game, 100% Bitchy Girl game.
It's
points
till dawn, right? Or
until dawn, yeah.
Until dawn, yeah.
It's worth, dude. It was worth it. I had fun playing it. I played it a lot. I dug it. It was fun. But But you can, there's a way to make everybody survive, and there's a way to kill everybody.
Oh, right. I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
No, you don't want to. It's fun. Like, you should get to the end of the game.
No, I want all the girls to survive because I want to hear the bitchy dialogue all the way through.
Well, you don't hear bitchy dialogue all the way through. Like, okay, when your friend said bitchy girl game, it's bitchy girl game for, like, the first, like, 10 minutes.
When I saw the trailer for it, and it was just these, like, bitches just ripping into each other. I'm like, oh my god, I'm sold. I'm gonna play this game so bad.
The same company made a couple other games too. Like, there's a game that I have that you're supposed to play with a bunch of people, and it's called it's some like detective game. But one person is like one person in the group is trying to like fuck everybody over, and you can make it to where they can't find things.
Oh, okay.
And so you got to go back and forth, and like you got to figure out who's who, and you play off your phone.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, and that's what I've wanted to do. Like, there's some cool interactive stuff, but I finally have the room to get people over, but now everybody's busy as shit and can't come over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to do that one for a while.
Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, I haven't read anything in a while. Like, I've been trying to find a book to read, but it's
because you can't do audio like I can.
Yeah, I want like a good mystery. You know what I mean? But it's just trying to find.
Dude, go for.
Oh, you know what?
You know what? You've seen Fletch though. I know you've seen the first Fletch movie.
I need I should just go to my list because I know I've been wanting to read The Count of Monte Cristo. My sister's been trying to get me to read it forever, and I'm like, I'll get to it, but I haven't read it.
Would you be opposed to reading a comic mystery?
No, not at all. Oh, you know what? Someone told me about a comic book that I wanted to read. It's called Revival, and it's about this. So basically, this one day, certain people just come back to life. Like, they're dead and they come back to life. And this girl, like, I guess she was brutally murdered by her boyfriend, I think, or suspected boyfriend might have murdered her, but they don't really know. She comes back to life, and like, she comes home, and her sister is the detective, and she's like, she's like, she's trying to kind of solve her mysteries. But what's trippy about this book is that all the people that come back alive, the revivers, they're immortal. So you can shoot them, kill them, and they can't die. But then there's this religious cult that like embraces like this like new like.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, like these new people coming back to life and whatever. But then these fucking religious like fanatics start to fucking cannibalize the revivers. Because they believe if they eat their flesh, they'll live forever too. And then there's like a weird like spectral. It's interesting.
It looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, Image is my jam. Like, so, I read more horror and detective comics than I do superheroes now. Yeah,
I was waiting at lunch, and then like some guy was reading a comic book, and I bugged him to see what he was reading.
What was that?
And he was reading some other book, and then he was telling me about like, I'm looking for cool, interesting stories. And he's like, this one's like, I guess it's been a long running. It's got like 4 paperbacks.
Like 5 years. He did it for like 5 years. It's done.
So, but he said there's like 4.
There's like 46. It says there's like 46. There's 46 issues.
Okay. So he says it's good. He liked it a lot.
That one's good. That one looks good. I'm gonna look into that. You should look into Reckless. If you want some good, like, do you want like good noir mysteries, or what are you looking for?
I just like something where like like it's hard to find a really good mystery that's like modern. You know what I mean?
You want modern, or what do you want? Because
I want more modern. I want like something I haven't read before, something that's not. I don't mind that they do like homages to like past stuff or little kind of whatever, but I want like an interesting story, kind of like what's the Knives Out? How like that was just completely new and it was just like a great story.
Well, no, it's not because it's kind of Columbo.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want a good mystery. But yeah, they're kind of hard to find.
Reckless is a good series. That's what I was telling you about the other day with Ed Brubaker. You want some good like detective stories? Ed Brubaker has, and he has so many different types because there's like the Fade Out, which is like 1940s Hollywood. There's what the fuck else is there? There's Criminal, which is like it's all hard boiled criminal stories. Like about
that'd be cool.
Yeah. The Reckless one takes place in like the 80s, and it's in Hollywood and Los Angeles, so it's like 1980s punk rock and surfer culture and fucking skinheads. And
yeah, okay, let's go and talk
there's
about this right now.
3. I've read 2 of the 3. The third one I just came out about a week ago. And
it's an ongoing comic?
Well, here's what it is. He's not doing like issues. he's releasing graphic novels like every 6 or 7 months.
Fuck yeah, that's how you do
so
it.
he's just releasing 100 fucking 20-page graphic novel every
and it's okay.
Yeah. And so it's essentially what it is is like his thing with those is that they're supposed to be like the old dime store fucking detective novels you'd find on the spinner rack, and they're short enough, they're not too long, and they're just good. But there's like 3 of them. Just make sure you get the first, read them in the right order. But those are good. The Fletch books are really good too. They are kind of like the. He didn't play Fletch. Chevy Chase didn't play Fletch. He played Chevy Chase,
right?
Like he does in every fucking movie he is. Which when he's running on all cylinders,
it's cool.
Chevy Chase is a great character. Is a great character. But for Fletch, like John Hamm's gonna be Fletch in the new Fletch. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be more of a noir movie. So definitely, I mean, I recommend the Fletch books, and there's like fucking 15 of them or something like that.
Dude, Ed Brubaker did a book called The Fade Out Act 1.
That's the one I'm talking about. The one that's the 1940s one.
Yeah, the cover of it looks fucking rad, like a bloody.
That's a great series. I have all that one.
These are on top of my list now. What to read?
Dude, if you want noir, just look up Ed Brubaker. Ed Brubaker writes so much good noir.
That's rad. The covers on these comics look rad.
Oh, dude, so amazing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet.
And there's so much to go back and read. And I've never read a bad Ed Brubaker, like, noir-y comic.
Nice.
Go back and get yourself some Ed Brubaker.
Yeah, I'm stoked right now.
That's all he really writes now. He hasn't. Even Pulp about a cowboy.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
that one's really good too. Same thing. He just released it. I haven't read All Our Heroes Are Junkies. I think it's on my list to read soon.
That sounds like a great title for a Clint Eastwood movie.
Pulp?
Yeah. No.
All Our Heroes Are Junkies.
Yeah.
Pulp is kind of, which is funny because Pulp was kind of closer to a Clint Eastwood story than anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could see like 90-year-old Clint Eastwood playing like a junkie.
Why? Because he's all skinny.
He's all skinny and he's just fucking out of it. But.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going?
Hey, not too bad, Forrest. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Forrest.
What?
Are you really all right?
I'm all right.
All right.
Next week we're gonna watch a Taika Waititi movie.
Waititi. What movie?
Boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Booger.
Well, that's gonna do it for the episode this week. If you have any questions or comments, you can hit us up at our Instagram
at YHBlankThat.
Or you can email us at yhblankthat@gmail.com.
Bye.
Bye.